Hi guys, this is Connor from Zenfinex back with more monthly market forecasts. For today, I'm going to be giving an update on my FTSE 2021 forecast and give the current standpoint from a fundamental and technical view. Now the FTSE index sits around the 6,700 mark. It's waiting patiently for the next impulsive move. I'm going to be giving my opinion on the key levels from where we could see this next wave of upside. So in my previous video, I spoke about the vaccine rollout and how 15 million people had had their first dose. There are rumours of the easing of lockdown measures from the 8th of March. Wind the clock forward to where we are now, it's very much the same story. The recovery ploughs on, schools are open, and there was a roadmap set out by Boris Johnson to get us out of these lockdown measures by July. Now, I think there's great reason to still be optimistic about businesses in the UK in the coming months. They've clearly been struggling, and I can't help but feel this market is still really undervalued, especially when you see the likes of the DAX printing all-time highs as well. And my reason for this leads nicely onto my next point. We're seeing loads of diversifying of portfolios in what is being described as the recovery trade. Well, the FTSE is full of traditional, real-life companies, and as a consequence lacks the technology firms that we see in the likes of the Nasdaq, etc. Now, a reopening of the economy here in the UK is enough for me to not even debate selling this market. Now, on a global scale, world stocks rose to their highest in just over a week on Thursday. This was after the US consumer prices report. It calmed investors' nerves about inflation, which is clearly the factor which is influencing these equities on a global scale the most. But with unemployment being still so high, I do not see inflation being a problem, especially not for the next month anyway. Right then guys, so I'm on the chart now, and there's no doubt that when you're looking at it on the daily time frame, and you'll see it on the lower time frames as well, it's a bit messy at the moment. I think in general the markets are quite hard, they're quite complicated. There's these real themes between the recovery trade and what we was expecting going into 2021. They're really battling against each other, and it's making the markets they're very volatile at the moment. But I just want to put into perspective, if I just quickly click on the monthly chart, that the FTSE is recovering, and you can see why when I spoke about the fundamentals and when we look at it on a bigger perspective, that I have no interest in selling. Yes, we are creating these hammer candles, but last month we ended in the green. This month we've had a strong start. It's only 11 days in, and then when you look on the weekly chart, it's the same kind of story. We're creeping up, as we'd say, and I think we're kind of waiting for this for a real recovery on the reopening of the economy, when this is really set in stone and the roadmap actually goes to plan. This is where I see actual explosion in the FTSE, when we can actually get out and spend, because at the moment we're still all locked down, so there's no surprise we're having this stuttering price action at the moment. Now, when I go on the daily chart and just zoom in on the levels a little bit more, it's quite hard to tell at the moment, but it is clear to see that we're struggling to break above this market structure here. This is at around 6,800. If we can get a break above 16,800 and a retest of this, then I think we look higher and test potentially around 7,000, which is a nice psychological level. So you can have this as our daily take profit if we had a move like this. Now, if I remove all the drawings and look at it from another perspective, as you can see, we're in a bit of a down day at the moment on the FTSE after a few days of upward pressure. Now, where am I looking at maybe price to fall down to if we do continue? Because we are wicking on both sides at the moment. Well, I'd look for the price to maybe enter a level around 6,500 would be a really nice discount before we have a bounce to the upside. Now, if I mark on where this level roughly is, it's quite a big area of support, starting at around 6,650. Any bounce off of this area, I'd look at as a buying opportunity, because when you zoom out on this chart, yes, we're stuttering at the moment, but we've seen that ever since really November, and this action has been met with an explosion of upside pressure. So we could be having and if you see, we're making higher lows as we go up. There. This is our next higher low, so I don't really see price falling below there. So what I'd like to see is we have this stuttering price action explosion, stuttering price action explosion, a bit of a retrace, stuttering price action explosion. Again, we're in that kind of similar pattern where we can have this move to the upside. So I do think a move is coming. We could see one at the end of the month, just about being patient. Now, I'll go down onto maybe the 4-hour chart. And where are we at the moment? Well, again, from price action terms, we're struggling to break above this high. And we're also at the moment struggling to break above even 6,750. So I do see this market in the very short term pulling back potentially into this support zone here. If we can get into this support zone, I'll be looking for buying opportunities. If I go onto the 1 hour, it's a bit clearer. I like this 1 hour chart. So you have this area which is a bit smaller, which can actually be argued that price was actually broken. If I put that as a template, as our break of structure, price was actually broken here. This is a nice 1 hour order block. Again, no interest in selling. If we can get a bounce into this 1 hour order block, then I'll be looking for buyers from here. It's around 650 again. If I go onto the 5-minute chart and see if we can refine this level even further. It's a bit messy down there at the moment. We have this small break of structure here. So we could argue that this would be a nice level to buy from. If I extend it all the way across and zoom out a bit more. So what I'd be looking for price to do is fall into this 5-minute order block here and then a break above. And if we were to buy from this level, it would offer a really nice discount, I think. And then we aimed for the highs, even if it was the most recent high, it's around a 15-hour trade. And I'd wait for the market to kind of form its structure from there. I'll remove these drawings again, so we're back on the plain chart now, and let's have a look at the moving average and the relative strength, just to see where we are on the daily time frame. Have a look at the 50-day moving average. And you can see that we're kind of flirting around it at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if price falls back and tests this 50-day moving average at around 6,650. Potential buying opportunity. You can see we haven't traded considerably below the 50-day moving average since November. And if I add in our relative strength on top of that, again, we're sitting around fair value at the moment. So really representative of what I said at the start of the video. The markets are a bit choppy. There's a bit of uncertainty about where this market's going to go in the very short term, at least. I have no interest in selling this market. I'm only looking for buying opportunities. Potentially the ones I saw on the 1 hour chart would be my next levels. But again, let's have a look to see how this market reacts to the 50-day moving average as well. That's it for today, guys. This market's all about staying patient. I'll catch you all for the next video next week. If you turn on your notifications, then you'll get a notification when this video comes out. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, message me on my Instagram above me if you have any other opinions about the FTSE at the moment. Other than that, guys, have a great day, and I'll catch you all next week.